to the roundtable. I am Jen, one of your hosts, and I've got some hosts here with me. We're going to talk about some current topics. We're going to talk about some opinions on certain words or feelings and just get everybody's feedback. But we're going to have a good time. You guys chop it up down in the comment section. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to touch on, go ahead and drop them. Okay, welcome, sis. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Glad to be here. Back with you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we're back at it. Okay, let's bring in House. Hey, House, how are you?
Good, Jen. How you doing, meow? How are you doing, Denise? Good?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, girl. I'm doing good.
That's good.
Doing good, man.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I know. Good to be here with you guys. We have one other person that may be tapping in, so
All righty, then.
see him down there. I'll add him to the stream, but let's just start out with what'd you do this last weekend, Denise? Anything exciting?
You know what? I was up in bed. I was on the couch. I had my leg up. I messed up my leg. I had some x-rays done, and nothing showed up, but said that it was bruised. So yeah, that was my whole week, basically. I did nothing. I haven't even went shopping yet.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Waited
little bit relaxation will help, like you did, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. Hey, Pastor Tony, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, Tony. How you doing? Good.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Hey, it's nice to see you guys too.
Alas.
No, right? In a
I'm
minute.
happy to be here.
Yeah,
Trucker.
that's right. So,
Saludos,
what,
Nick.
House, anything exciting this last week?
I was basically working all weekend, even like Monday, doing just helping some people out, helping somebody out. But it was all good, man. It was good. We chopped it up, chilled, laughed, and talked about. I met this guy. He's a cool guy, and he's talking about a lot of good things. He's starting his own business out. He's getting things cracking, So I went over there to help him out, and it's going good, man. I wish him the best on his business, man. Shout out to they could call himself Rascal from Brown Puebleros Car Club. Yeah.
Shout out to Rascal. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Nice. Pastor Tony, what did you do this last weekend?
Woo.
Well, it was Memorial Day weekend, but I don't know if the rest of the world has like 5 birthdays and 3 other holidays in May, but our 16th anniversary, my daughter's birthday, my wife's birthday, then you got Mother's Day, Memorial Day, and then our Chihuahua's bar mitzvah.
Hey, that's coming up for me in June.
You've been pretty busy there, don't tell me.
We were going to cancel the month of May. Like, hey, we were coming to agreement, but the kids are like in tears. Can we at least have a cake?
Right.
So, yeah.
Saludos, Vince.
Thanks, brother.
Well, yeah, happy belated anniversary. That's nice. 16
Yes,
years.
yes.
Wild, right? My mom had a hard time staying married. So for me, 16 years is kind of like a new thing. Like, wow, my dad's been married for a minute, 40 years now, but I grew up thinking, that relationships really didn't last all that long, and those 16 years just flew right by, man. I know Denise has been married for a third of the century, so it's
for her. 33 years. Yeah, long time.
Gunner. Well, that's a really big accomplishment. So I think
Yeah, it is.
It's nice to be the one changing things, within your family like that. That's cool.
Yeah, certainly is
definitely.
a curse broken on my
Breaking them barriers,
Cycles,
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, totally, bro. Totally.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, today's Wendy's birthday. Happy birthday to Wendy.
Happy birthday, Windows.
Windows.
That's cute.
Baby girl Wendy. Yeah. Yep.
Girl.
Right.
Saludos, Victor.
So this weekend for me was not like anything super exciting, but my daughter went to that music festival right here. I posted a short little video of it. Which was so funny because, okay, she hates the smell of smoke, anything like that. And this is like a big like reggae festival, so you can imagine what's going on, right?
Wrong place to be.
She loves music though. Yeah, she loves music. So she's like, oh, I'm just gonna go for the music.
Yeah.
And she did, but she was like texting me partway through. She's like, oh mom, I feel like I'm gonna get sick to my stomach. I can barely
Contact high, huh?
yeah. She's like, no way.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. It's good to see everyone. So yeah, I just worried myself to death over here waiting for her to check in, because she's barely starting to stay out a little later now. This is the one that's graduating high school. She's 18, but she kind of kept my kids a little sheltered from finding out.
You know what, Jen? That's kind of normal because when my daughter turned 18 and they started going out and they were coming home like 3 o'clock in the morning or 4. Yeah, I used to stay. I couldn't sleep, and I says, man, but you know what? I got to the point. It says, you know what? They're a grown-up father guy, protect them, keep them safe, and I got to get my rest because it was like affecting me and tiring me out,
Yeah,
so,
it can do that, right? I know
it does. Yeah.
Maybe that's part of why I'm feeling so tired too. Is like I had a couple days straight where it was like,
Yeah.
So, guess what, you guys remember last week when I was telling you about my tragedy of losing my makeup bag?
Yeah. There it is.
What happened? How'd they?
Somebody thought it would be funny to hide it in her backpack from mom, and I discovered it last night when I was looking for her lunchbox. So, funny, really.
Was that a prank of pranks or what?
Yeah, she's my prankster, big time. So
I would have been so mad.
I know.
Man, that's sort of like fighting. That's like almost throwing blows type of like.
Right. Hey, Denise, I just want to say this. You look like you're in a picture frame right now, doesn't she?
Denise?
Like a portrait, a beautiful.
Yeah, she looks like she's in a portrait, doesn't she?
She does. Like a little haunted, like a little ghost going on. Yeah.
You look like you're pinned up on the wall, Denise.
Oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Mirror on the wall.
Right?
Thank you.
It's cool. It's like super.
Like curtains.
Yeah, I think it's just the black curtain and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a backdrop.
She got black screen going on there. All right.
Yeah, I have a dark. I have to have a dark.
Oh,
I mean, I open it up when there's sun. I open it up.
Yeah.
Right. Vince, you went recently? Okay, I went to the Haight-Ashbury 2 weeks ago to get a derby jacket. The street is crazy. I'm smoke everywhere. I know. Vince, did you get a jacket? I'm just curious because I went probably 6 months ago and they didn't have any like jackets in stock. It was so weird.
Those derby jackets, are they the old school ones? The kind of like
the actual derby jacket from the derby.
Hey, can I show you something real quick while you guys are talking? I'm gonna show you something real quick, okay?
So what's a derby jacket? I don't get it. What, the black one with the orange inside?
They come in all colors. Pastor Tony, you're from the Bay, right? So you know.
Yeah, originally.
Jackets, yeah.
Are you talking like the Dow jackets, like the big fluffy ones, or?
No, just like the slick derby jackets with the inside. It has the
like
actual
flipped out, like back with you down with OPP. That was no, not that one.
Not
That's the first one to them.
I know.
I want to see if Vince remembers these jackets. I don't know how old Vince is, but I want to see if he remembers these jackets. Can you see?
Go a little more in.
Right there.
Right.
Turn it a little.
Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Is that a pizza? Is that a pizza? Oh yeah, that's a nice jacket. Both of them.
Yeah, I got 8 of these. No, 9.
What?
Vince,
I can't see what that black one is though. Does that have fur on it too?
Yeah, they all have fur on them. They're the old school ones. Not Vince. What's his name? The guy in the, was it Vince that was asked? Yeah, Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
If he recognizes these.
I came to Phoenix before that got popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
wearing $17 silk shirts every color back in '88. Just silking it up.
I remember those, but like my cousin wore those. My older.
Yeah. Those were back in those are original and they're clean. They're wool. They're back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Even in the 90s, you know, the very beginning of the 90s. It depends when you grew up, you know.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, that's
You remember those, huh?
I remember those. You know that I have 3 county jackets from like the Pinta. I don't know where they're from, but they were my uncles. I have
Wow.
to look at them.
Some people got military jackets. Denise got pinta jackets from the World War II era.
You know what?
I don't have no military, but yeah.
Hang on to those. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna go check them out. Yeah.
Supposedly they're worth money, like, you know, because it's not supposed to make its way out of the
right,
you know, where it's from. And I guess they're worth money. And I could kick myself now because there's this girl, I won't say who, but I traded this girl because our kids are like 2 different ages. So like her little one would be fitting into the clothes mine was coming out of. But when she left some letters in there. And it was not to her old man who's locked up as well. She don't live around here no more, so she won't see this. But and not only that, there was like, you know, CDCR clothes in there.
Wow.
Wow.
They were huge though, and I'm like,
I think back in the 80s was easier for them to come out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
back then, probably.
Yeah.
My primo came over a while back, and he had the state shoes, and he had the I don't know what they call the gum.
Brogans.
They look like Converse, but they're not Converse.
Oh.
Yeah, and he came out with those, and the other ones had the numbers on them on the side of the shoe. Yeah,
I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
You got like 9 jackets.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, you look real nice in one, Cholo.
Yeah, heck yeah. He probably has one, no?
When I got out,
I don't know if he has one of those.
When I got out in 1998, they called them fish pants, but we all came on our prison clothes. They wouldn't let us leave with our jacket. We had a baby blue shirt, and you know, and the fish pants. They're like denim, but they had rectangular pockets. So like, as soon as you get out of them, you know, you want to get out of them. They were really goofy looking. But what I heard is now everyone comes out in their
I bet. Yeah, you probably like gonna get these off and throw them away.
Yeah, bubblegum shoes. That's it right there.
Yeah, but remember.
I don't want to be like, I'm not sounding any type of rude, but those were on the Fat Albert cartoon, right? Those shoes. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
I should not. If I can go get them right now, I would. But
Fat Albert.
408 SJ.
408.
It was a cartoon back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that cartoon. I do remember.
I remember Fat Albert cartoon, but I don't remember the shoes.
Right.
Remember the beanie that the guy had? Was that a beanie the guy had over him, or was it his?
Yeah. I forgot his name. Hey, we got to touch on that.
Like
that old school stuff, and then I'll have it like ready. So even
we'll do a segment with it. Yeah. So I'll post a thing in the community page, Denise, of the Derby jackets, the store.
Yeah.
And Vince said he bought 3. I know you dropped some bills when you were there. They're not cheap.
I don't know why.
Yes, Vanessa, thank you for reminding everyone. Please hit the thumbs up. I wanted to bring up, I know everybody heard, you had to have that Tina Turner passed away.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Right, May 24th. I believe she was 83 years old. Rock and roll, pretty much queen of rock and roll, everyone referred to her as. So I just wanted to give everyone a minute if you had any cool stories or memories or anything that you thought about some of her songs or her life.
Yeah.
I remember is What's Love Got to Do with It, because she came out and she was dancing by
Yeah, I can go back further than that. No, I remember a movie that she did, and they showed about her life. She would be fighting a lot with Ike, you know, a lot.
He would hit her.
But she was bringing it out on the stage, man. She was just bringing it out, you know. She wasn't even holding it back. She was a good entertainer, man. Her music and everything, man. Yes.
I remember as a kid seeing that video, What's Love Got to Do with Her, the big hair. And that was the first memory of her. And then going to my cousin's house and seeing her in her older videos doing that, you know, rolling in the river. And she looked completely different. I'm like, okay. In the music video in 85 or 83 or whatever, 82, I don't know. She looked older and big hair. And then a couple years before that, I don't know, maybe a couple years, she was like hot, and she was all dancing. I'm like, wow, this black lady is foxy. I didn't connect her with the same person back in the early '80s until like, I got a little older.
She really did go through like many different looks. You know, I look back at some of her stuff too, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. She went through.
She kept herself in shape too. You know, she really did, man. All that movement.
Absolutely. I mean, she had her legs were literally insured because.
Really, I didn't know that.
There was a very high price insurance.
I need to insure mine.
Yeah.
So, what she passed away of cancer, huh?
You know, it's so weird. Some reports said natural causes, but she did have cancer, so I'm assuming it would have had something to do with that. She left behind a husband, her second husband, who she was still married to, and 4 sons.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Her husband is rather multi-millionaire on his own, so I'm sure her estate is probably going to go between, you know, maybe her husband and all her boys, hopefully.
Oh,
You know, God bless the family, and what a legendary life.
Yes, and you know, it's not going to die. She's still going to live on. You know, all her music and everything. People still going to remember her. She's not going to. People are not going to forget her.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Mad Max of Thunderdome, is that the movie you were talking about? No. That's the only movie I've ever seen her in, is Mad Max of Thunderdome.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever seen her in.
Yeah.
Okay, I highly recommend her movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, with Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne. I'm going to watch that again. I have watched it before. Thank you for reminding us, Cholo. That was a good movie. American Top Gun.
Honestly, I didn't really I wasn't really into her, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't into her that much, sadly to say.
Yeah.
But like back then it was all I guess because in that era of the late 80s, when that song came out, we were out there just like popping and
doing all that,
dancing and doing all that stuff. So
Proud Mary was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
I heard her songs, but
you know, I heard that so that iconic hair that you talked about, Pastor Tony, that she had that like big hair. I had read an article that said how that originally happened was she was having her natural hair processed, you know, some chemical product done to it, and it burnt her hair. Like, so it burnt it off. So she started wearing wigs, you know, to protect her hair. And that's where that iconic look came from.
Wow. Man, that was like a punk. That was like a punk interview, though.
Yeah, you know, it was, huh?
Doing that, I was like a lion.
Yes, but we're talking about it to this day. It got a lot of attention. And she made her own wigs. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so she handmade her own wigs. That was like her custom look.
Wow. Yeah. So she just wasn't sitting back. She was doing her own stuff, huh?
She was doing her own stuff.
Wow.
And there's an interview, like, I think it was like 60 Minutes back in the day. I was watching part of it. If you look up her name on YouTube, it's like the first video to come up.
Okay.
And it shows her estate in Switzerland, I believe she lived in. And is it Switzerland? So just absolutely beautiful property, and oh my goodness, you got to check it out.
Nice.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is a word that can be very triggering, which is another word that can be so annoying and overused lately, but jealousy. That can go so many different ways. Not just within an intimate relationship, you know, it can be in friendships. It can be within families. I thought that's an interesting, I don't even know what you say. What is it? An emotion, a feeling? Like it can go from feeling that kind of way to really bringing on some pretty crazy things to happen in somebody's life. Do you have any stories in particular, Pastor Tony, of jealousy and maybe how that affected you or someone you know? Or
it's hard because the way you described it, you know, I remember wanting to grenade this guy's vehicle for hitting on my girl back in the early 90s. I don't know if that was jealousy or just me like trying to protect my lady from this dude, you know, or like just respect, right?
Yeah,
So I think like jealousy. Oh man, you know, we were just talking about that at church, about how God is a jealous God, but His jealousy is not like, you know, I mean, what you like that little God bigger than the all creator? It's more like the sharing time that you're like that you want to spend with someone and someone else is taking it, and you know what I mean, and almost they don't deserve it, you know. So yeah, man, I don't know. I guess my wife spending all this time at school and stuff, you know, I guess maybe sometimes I do get a little jealous where I hear her professors in the background on the computer. Great job, Michelle. You know, like, she's the best. You know, that's all I got.
Like, I know she is.
Yeah. Why don't you cut her some slack, man? She got family. You know.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answer to anything. But yeah, as far as like looking like a husband was jealous, or not husband at the time, it was just a girlfriend. But yeah, man, he hit on my girlfriend, man. I had an uncle that had some grenades. I like, deal. You still got them grenades? This is like 1993. All right, I'm a kid. But I remember being that angry.
Yeah, jealousy can really get you there. It can, yeah. That's what I was thinking is that's one emotion I feel like can take you from like 0 to 60 fast. Like,
you know, I experienced something similar to what Pastor's saying. I was out, me and my wife, my first wife, we used to work together, right? And one guy came in. No, I was walking through the lobby right here, and she was coming in through the back. And I walked into the mechanics area, and one of the mechanics whistled at her. So I put him in check. I confronted him, and is that jealousy or is that disrespect?
Exactly. Right?
I would say disrespect.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if he knew you were there.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't.
Oh,
I just happened to walk right in there, you know, and then she comes and tells me. So I confronted him, you know, but I'm not going to lose my job. But I told him how I felt, you know, and I really got in his face, but not because of jealousy, but it's disrespect, you know.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You know, I wouldn't do that to anybody else's, you know. I don't know. That's how I am. You know?
It's just disrespect all the way.
Yeah.
I saw you with her, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, like, just I'm speaking for myself. That is not something that is a turn on, or like for someone just to like be catcalling or whistling, like that's not it, guys.
And jealousy, period, kills everything, man. It does. It kills everything. I've seen people, and I'm not going to say that at one point in time in my life I was jealous, but you know what? It eats you up inside, and it doesn't do you no good because you start thinking things that's not even happening. I'm like, what am I going? So I put it in check and stop that because I'm saying, you know what? I leave it in God's hands and let the rest, you know, because the enemy will come in and say, hey, I want you to feel this way about it and this way. I said, no, I leave it in God's hands, you know. And my first wife, she cheated on me. But I says, thank you very much, you know, and that's grounds for divorce. 16 years. It was 16 years. The first marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it was grounds for divorce. So that's where we went.
Wow.
Jen, I did have a jealousy story, but it was for another guy that got a job. Like basically he was like, this again 25 years ago, but he was like dating some girl I was talking to before he was, and then he applied for a job a couple years later that I applied for, and I think I was jealous. Like, dang, all right, that's enough. I mean, the first time, man, all right, fine, better guy got it, but now you're taking my job, you know. Married. But now I was pretty passionate in my earlier days. I'm really calm now in the last 15, 16 years. But before I was Mountain Dude up or something. But yeah, I do remember like feeling like jealous, like looking at his, you know, MySpace page, you know.
Oh my God! Yeah.
What a jerk! Yeah, he got no friends.
I want to say something here, Tony. Is as we get older, and the more maybe I don't know if you could reflect on this, but as you get older and you go with God more, and you're with God, you don't feel that no more. You don't feel that way, you know. It's trust, you know, trusting God, you know. But then again, when you have a relationship you want to be equally yoked, you know.
Yep.
You want to be equally yoked because the opposites attract kind of thing, and it's not really a good thing, you know, because
sometimes that ain't all the truth. Sometimes more than you can. It's nice to have some opposite, but if you're too opposite, it can really bring some trouble.
Yeah.
That's good.
It puts strain. It's put strain on the relationship, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you find yourself not doing things together. You're doing things like this person's going this way, this person's going that way, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a point in my life where I stopped drinking, and I stopped drinking, doing drugs, and I says my kid first, and my ex still continued to want to do that, you know. And to me, I didn't want to do that no more. I wanted to be normal, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
You know, not, and who says what's normal, but stop doing drugs, drug free, clean, you know. Yeah, drug free. There you go.
Yeah.
Was that while you guys were together, or were you already separated?
What's that?
Were you guys still together when you wanted to be drug free?
Oh yeah, we were together when my second my daughter was born. I said, it's these drugs are my kids, man. And I said, it's my kids, man. And I went through withdrawals, you know, and all this other stuff, but a lot of therapy and stuff, but it worked, you know. It worked, man. It didn't happen overnight, but it did work, man. And I'm drug free today and alcohol free for years, man. So it's a blessing.
Right on. Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's right. I think I was definitely had my jealous times in my younger years.
Yeah.
And a couple situations where I just know it was, you know how you try to, you know, it, like for myself anyways, I know it wasn't God's will for me to be in that situation, but I forced it.
Okay.
So it created a situation where I was constantly battling these emotions that were brought up, you know, because it just wasn't a relationship that was meant to flow easily. And when you invite that kind of thing in, I feel like it, you know, we invite in a lot of heartache and trouble, and that's
It's damaging. It's a damage.
Those are the years I struggle with the jealousy stuff the most.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, that's for the birds. Like, I'm not trying to feel
bad. And you feel a lot better. You know, you really feel a lot better once you let it go, you know?
Yeah. Nice to see you, Mary. Yeah. How about you, Denise? Have you had any situations?
I had a few things. I have a few things to say. You know, jealousy can run in the family, and I was my grandma's like everything. So, you know, everybody saw that, and I didn't want it to be that way, but that's just how it was. You know, she always had me with her when I was little. I was always going with her everywhere, and I found that my cousins were hating on me, you know, as I got older. And I was like, why are they hating on me? You know, and so I heard it through the grapevine that that's why. It's because my grandma paid attention to me, and you know, had me all the time, and she didn't pay attention to anybody else, and they saw that. So that was one thing that I dealt with in my life after she passed away. Like when she was sick and the day she passed away, none of my uncles or aunts called me. Like my mom called me later after she was already getting picked up, and she was in Downey, so it was kind of like a drive for me, about a half hour, 45 minutes to get there. So when she called me, and I was like, man, I rushed over there, and she was already like, they already took her, she was gone, so I wasn't able to say my goodbyes to her, you know, and stuff like that. So I was like, man, that's messed up. Why didn't you call? You know, like, why didn't you call me? Even like today, I have a few cousins that are just trip. You know, it's like, what? Why do you guys act like that?
Yeah, I see that in some relationships, and I try to talk. It's no good, man. The route you're going and what you're doing, it's not a good route to take, man. So I says, because you got to trust, man. You got to have that trust. You know, you can't just say, hey, you know, I want to be, or fight amongst jealousy because of jealousy, you know, and It's no
I was
good.
out of
It
the loop for a
destroys,
long
man.
time. I was out of the family loop for a while because I was taking care of my husband's grandma for so long, 24/7 type thing. And I didn't go to parties. I didn't go to nothing, So after she passed away, I was like, hello, I'm good. I could go, I can invite me. I'm telling them like, but that, and then this one time, you guys, when I first met my husband, right? This is back in like 20, what? It was 90, no, it was 80, 89.
Okay.
So I met him, and I had a close friend that was a guy. His name was Leonard. He was just a friend. Like we partied with him. I did, everything, but he was a friend, like a friend. I never had any type of like, come on, like, come ons from him or nothing. It was just, he was a friend. He went to school with them, partied with them, hung out.
Yeah.
So when I met my husband, I was like, man, I gotta let Leonard know, like,
Yeah.
I got a husband. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm
You say he's just a friend.
Yeah. I said I got a boyfriend now. So anyways, when I came to my husband's house to pick, to party and hang out, I walk in his room and there's a girl ironing his pants, and I'm like, what? And I was like, what? I tripped out. Okay, so we went out the room and I was like, what's up with that? And he goes, oh, she's my best friend. She's just a friend. I said, why is she ironing your pants though? Like,
Please, Brenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is she ironing your pants and shit? Like, that's messed up for me to see,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Wow.
but I understood. Afterwards, I understood, because I had a guy. I said, well, that's my friend too, But he don't wear my pants, and that shit has to stop. Like now.
Yeah. And you're
So
like,
I got to talk to her, whatnot. That never happened again.
I bet. Yeah.
Jealousy can be, but then you grow up and you grow out of it. Like,
I think at least all of us experience jealousy in our lives, I think we did, we're only human beings,
Yeah.
And
and it could turn into something, like you said, I could have messed her up right then and there with no talking,
Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out to Brenda for super chat.
Oh, Brenda, thank you, Brenda.
But you guys, so the first thing that came to my mind was jealousy is the old school, unfaithful. But yeah, jealousy, sibling rivalry. When you got parents that get divorced and the one has to go with one or the other, so they're jealous that they went with dad, or they're jealous that they went with mom. So they get like this tension, like, man, you grew up with mom, so you had it easier. There's that weird jealousy, and then eventually, the hope is everyone comes out of that and sees that we're all family. Yeah, nothing to do with that scenario. I know that wasn't my scenario, but now I had 2 different siblings and 2 different parents, and I'm the older one, and my dad, and the youngest, and my mom. But I had the jealousy coming down from the older ones because I was with mom, and I had the jealousy to my little brothers because they had dad. And the reality is, you grow up and you realize that everyone is responsible for their own lives. They do the best they can with what they have, and you just appreciate people. I appreciate my older brother and sister now more than ever, and I think they love me more now. And so there was that I think rivalry, a sibling rivalry happens in a household where sometimes the youngest or sometimes the oldest gets away with certain things, and the middle one's asking why, and so I'm like, that's I guess jealousy is very normal. And biblically, they threw Joseph in a whale because they were jealous of him because his dad was giving him all the love. So it's just like Cain and Abel, Cain, Abel, man, because God was pleased with his offering. So it is normal. And I think that's all hitting on the button, and that's with maturity. And I think hopefully some of us mature younger, like we can get it where we're still young and to really appreciate each other. Totally, man. I can relate to jealousy for sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there, man. Because some things, like when I was a kid, I remember, like, I was 5 years old, and I remember my nephew. My nephew was a year older than me, okay? And I'm his uncle. But when we were walking into the store and I see my mom picking him up and paying attention to him, I'm like, that's my mom. And I socked him one, and then right there because we're going in the store and we fought right there. Me and him were 5 years old fighting over because I said that's my mom, but see, my mom was watching him. That was her grandson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was a year older than me.
That's funny because that's something that I've had to deal with Ruby. She's 10 years old. My granddaughter is 6 years old. So sometimes Ruby will be like, why are you letting Aria do that? Why are you know what I mean? I'm like, you're her tia, Ruby. Like, no, we're both kids. We're both kids. That's not, I'm like, yes, honey, it's different, our relationship, you're my daughter. This is my granddaughter, but she ain't having it. When she's older, she'll get it,
Yeah. Well, that carried out with me to like my age right now. Like, I don't really talk to my cousins that much. My sisters, yeah, because I had opened up with them, and said it wasn't my fault that I got babied and pampered. I was, all my brothers look like house. All my sisters look like house. They're dark, they're the color and stuff. I'm the only wet out in my family, and I got the attention that I didn't really want, and I got spoiled, which kind of carried on to my marriage. My husband.
Yeah.
It's a little illumination for you. I haven't heard
you got
I have a new car in like 2 years.
Right? You're like,
what the hell, Denise?
Yeah, I see the gifts you be getting. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Treat you well.
He treats you. You have to though. You have to. Each one. You have to treat each other well and good.
Right.
Likewise, you have to treat them the same way. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It was funny. One time he was at work, right, and my friend goes to the college that he works at, and they were sitting down talking. My friend and this girl. And the girl turns and she goes, "Oh my God, there's Malv, there's Melvin." And my friend goes, "He's married, right?" And she was like, "No." "Oh, really?" Like, yeah. Okay. So
like, girl.
Oh man, that was the funniest thing though. I was just like,
wow.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, but yeah, that makes sense. See all those different examples, and even going back, like you said, biblically, jealousy has been around since the Bible days. So
yeah, it has. Definitely.
Cain and Abel. Not good to be jealous, I'll tell you that.
So we're supposed to be happy for each other, right? That's what we're supposed to be shooting for. We're supposed to be joyful when someone comes up, when someone gets out of the ghetto. Oh man, he sold out. No, man, he's getting out of the hood. That's good. You know what I mean? Or when he has something now, I'm glad he has something, man, because he can give a little back now. Who knows? But just like to be happy for a person rather than be like,
rather than bringing them back down, bring them back in the barrel, and I see that a lot, and it's sad. It's very sad because we have to help each other out, just like I was telling you guys about what I did this weekend. I was helping this guy out because you have to, man, help one another out. This guy, and in return, he gave me this. He gave me this little thing right here. Look at it. I wanted an old school mic.
Oh, nice.
And for the thing, and he goes, "Here, I'm gonna shoot you with this, man." And I said, "Gracias," because I was gonna buy one,
Isn't that Buddy Holly stuff?
Yeah, it's not real, but it's just like that,
Yeah, that's
but you have to help somebody. We have to help each other out rather than tear each other down, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, Timo says he likes that picture that's over your shoulder. House, did you do that?
Which one? This one or that one?
Which one, Timo? The cross or the other one? No.
This one I got from the 99-cent store, believe it or not.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it
good? I see it, and when I see art and I like it, I mean, they have a lot of prints like that, but I just love that print, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. I like that one too.
Hey, I'm not a rich guy, man. I do what I do with what I got, I'm humble,
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of humble, Jen, I have a friend named Carlos Garcia. He's on another channel called The Creative Whole. I Okay, I gotta be careful because I say
Yeah, that could go. Yeah.
I say collective soul, these band names, all these weird names. But
Yeah.
creative whole, Carlos Garcia, and he was sharing, man, how he's at the table a lot of times talking to all these like psychologists and ministers and people that are helping poor and people are in prison systems trying to help in rehabilitation and stuff. And he's the only one without no degrees or education, really. He's just a book reader, man. He reads books and he helps people, and he's got in scenarios and experiences where he's at the table with all these educated people.
Yeah.
And so I just threw my degrees behind me because I'm not at the table and I haven't done any of the stuff he's done, but I got the papeles, but I haven't done anything with him in 20 years. Anyway, here's my thing. I'm okay with that. I sell houses. This is great. But I just wanted to make sure that was on the channel today because I was going to send that clip to him later. That's all. God bless you guys.
All right.
That's right. Yeah,
hey, you're always coming with that which is good. Hey, it's good. You know, you have to be alive, man. That's good, man. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
Laughter is good, man. That's just good for the heart, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think as you get older, you just you've been there, done that, and all you could be is happy. Like I'm a happy soul. Like I'm a happy soul. If I'm still working on things that come to me, and of course I'm human. I get mad, but the actions, I think before my actions now.
Right.
I didn't think before.
Right.
I just did whatever.
Cool those coals on the head before you react, huh?
And it's hard. Believe me, it's hard because we come from the street. Like I'm from audio, and I'm from the street, and that's just in our being, right?
Yeah.
We come off and we just go. But now that I'm older and I'm married and I have girls and I'm chill, I still get mad, but I don't jump to react.
Yeah, like be quick to react, huh?
Yeah. The good thing is to break those.
Think about it now because I have the Lord, I have the Lord in my life, and I do have to think before I react. And sometimes it's hard, but I'm getting better at it.
One time, I'll tell you a little story. One time, I was being put through a lot of stuff, going through a divorce, and then my second wife that I had, and going through stuff with her. And I was just so heated because all these things are happening. And like you were talking, Tony, divorce, kids, in and out of court, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to my shop, and I was angry. I was like, I had my gun, and I says, just somebody say something. You know what I'm saying? And I said, and at this time, I knew God and I was with God, but I got angry and I started letting the enemy started coming. I said, nope. I says, you know what? I'm trying to make a point to this one guy, this youngster that I took under my wing, right? I'm trying to make an example and showing him how God works for you, but yet I'm doing this. What kind of person, what kind of servant am I? What kind of person am I? Am I really following God's rules? Nope. So I went and drove home, put my piece away, went to the my shop, went to the back of the shop, and there was a desk there that I didn't want no more. So I just broke it up with my hands and my feet. And then I felt better. But you see, it's like sometimes, although we walk with God, we get tempted sometimes and stuff like that. But now I know I'm even more better at calming myself down and being at peace, and sharing the peace, which is a blessing, man. It's a blessing. Yeah.
Right, like American Top Gunner says here, he transformed me overnight. Seek help, he will do it. That mentality will leave.
Amen.
Right.
That's right, Top Gunner. Yep.
Yes.
Looking at what?
Let's see, joking I'd be knowing you realer than real girl. Oh, Timo had said that he would hate to get Denise mad in person.
Hey, she's packing. Yep, she's packing.
But there was another thing that sort of something happened over the weekend with one of my daughters, and it made me think of this whole thing. Like, have you guys? I know you have you ever heard of the saying "trust your gut feelings" or "trust your instincts"? Or those of us that are believers, you know what I mean? The Holy Spirit.
Your instincts, yeah.
Yes. Have you ever been in a situation where something, or someone was telling you this is not a good situation, or eating at you to just either get out of that situation or maybe not go somewhere? And did you follow that feeling, or did you not follow it? And what was the outcome? They will.
I could share something if you want me to share.
Yeah.
Doing that instinct. Okay, back then I was a bus driver, a school bus driver, right? And I was always take the same route all the time. I think I told you guys this story. Every day, same route, same time. We meet up with this one bus here, and my instincts, which basically is God talking to me, because God was telling me, go straight, don't turn, and I'm like, I'm going straight. No, I'm still gonna turn, do the route, and He says, no, I'm telling you, go straight, and then I'm like, and and it's like my instincts, but then I say, I think it's God talking to me, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is I call it in Route 29, Riverside Control. I'm rerouting due to lack of students, blah, 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 right? As soon as I got done doing that, a few seconds later, I heard this radio emergency, call 911. Well, the bus that crosses here, he goes first, and then I go after him, right? And he was catty corner from me. He took off, and there was a car going maybe about 80, 90 miles an hour. No brakes. Hit him on the front side. So he went over to where I would be, and he went into the ditch down there.
Oh, wow.
And the bus went into the ditch. So I would have been involved in that. But like instincts, or is it God talking to me? I was kind of like saying, I take it like God was talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I says, I'm going straight, and look what happened. I could have been there at that time. So would that be instincts, or would that be, because I know you're a pastor, and when you hear God's voice, pastor, how do you take that?
Well, yeah.
Salute those big deals.
There's no real. I don't think you can explain it, man. I think that you just know. You just know. Some people call it discernment. You know what I mean? Be able to see, understand, or see something more that no one else is noticing or feeling. It's not. It says the fear of the Lord. It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Full despise wisdom and instruction. So,
correct.
Fear in the Lord is like recognizing God. Okay, let's just make sure we all know that God is in control. He's big. He got our number. Let's respect Him. Let's recognize His creation, right? And I give someone else credit for it. But but as far as like having the heebie-jeebies or having a funny feeling, I mean, I think that's all. It's like instinct. I think God gave us that, man. That's like that spiritual element of all of us.
Yeah.
Whether we believe in God or not, of giving us, hints. Don't do that. Don't go that direction. And some people maybe get so numb from it, that they don't even, they don't hear it or feel it no more. I don't know, man, but I definitely know how it feels to have a bad feeling. You know what I mean? I remember driving over a little squirrel. I just had this bad feeling. This poor little squirrel just got ran over. Oh, that was a complete accident. And then like a couple hours later, a little friend of the family got shot, like from that same event. So you had like this eerie feeling about killing this animal, and it kind of stuck on you like for like a period of time, and then something like that happens. So I don't know if those things are connected, but I do know that if we have trust in the Lord, we're gonna be okay. But it's still
absolutely, man.
You can't explain, right?
Yeah, I've had stuff. I hear what you're saying. Like a little something will happen, and then something bigger ends up happening. So just to take you guys back to where that thought of that saying came into mind, this last weekend, my daughter and her friends, I told you guys, went to a music festival.
Mm-hmm.
Well, originally, one of the friends' parents were supposed to stay, and they were all in a hotel, and they didn't end up. The parents didn't end up staying, but mind you, all of the girls are adults, but to us parents, it's still like they're our kids, So we're like, well, they're adults, from 18 to 23, so they were going to stay in the hotel. It was already paid for, and I get a message from my daughter, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, I got a really bad feeling about this place. Like, I've never got this feeling in my life," is how she told me. Something ain't right here. It's like really creepy. It's dark. Like, as soon as we got there was like all kinds of construction workers working. Like, the place didn't even look like it was open.
Oh, wow.
And they like put us in this room that was close to an exit right on the first floor. And then to top it off, she said when they left, because they dropped their stuff off before they went to a festival, when they left, they noticed in the front area, the lobby, there was a sign that said, "Beware of sex traffickers." And she's like, once she told me that, I was like, no, you need to just come home. Like, why? Yeah. You got a bad feeling for a reason. Like, you need to trust that, God is telling you how to fix. Hey, Jojo. Yeah.
That's true, because there's signs out there that something's just not normal, and you'll pick up on it. If you're smart and you're wise and you see things, you'll pick up on all that stuff,
Yeah.
You will. All the red flags will start showing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I was proud of her that she, first of all, that she spoke up and reached out to me. Because a lot of times, and I've done this, where I'll get a feeling and I'll be like, no, stop it. Like, that's nothing. You try and stuff it down like maybe you didn't hear that right, or maybe it wasn't that big of a deal, but no, you need to listen. And the little signs you're getting, are for a reason. I was proud of her that she spoke up, and even more proud that they did end up just taking their bags and coming home.
Yeah.
That's good.
Youth kids today, it's like a trip, because I've seen it more than once. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'll be backing up in the market, like backing up to go, and I see the people about to walk by, and I'm going, and it's like, are you still walking? Like, what's up with that? Like, like, I don't know if you're saying, but I'm like, don't they see me? They see me, right? Like, they just don't give a crap. Like, I literally have to stop in the middle for them to like go around me and walk, because they're still walking. And not only that, just out of respect, like getting in front of you, or like it's like there's no respect. And that's I know it's another topic, but I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't make sense how kids today, like, even reacting like I'm saying right now. You hear so many shootings, right? Well, is that the way they're reacting now? And it seems to be that way. You hear a lot of shootings and stuff like that, and it's crazy, because is that what they do nowadays? Like, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I think it's the area you live in. It's the neighborhood you grow up in. I think it's parts of town. I think that the respect levels or the culture you're living in. I've traveled enough to see polite kids respect their elders, and the most disrespectful children. 9-year-old kids you can never imagine. So I've seen it, but it all depends on the area you live in, your household. I would even say more specific.
You know what, Pastor? When I bought my first house, I went into a middle class area and upper middle class, and I bought the house there figuring that it's going to be not out of the barrio and whatever, right? And when we got there, we've been there a year. Lady got killed at the corner right here, stabbed. Down the 2 houses down, the neighbors, somebody broke into their house naked and tried to steal their baby. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I said, man, I was over here in the hood and we were okay, you know?
For real.
No, it's true, man. You adapt to your environment. When I first came
Yeah.
out of Richmond, California, as a 14-year-old, it was the
Saludos,
worst.
Chilu.
It was the worst thing ever. Richmond, California. 14 years old, came to Phoenix. I was in the. I didn't know I was like one of the worst parts in Phoenix, but I didn't know because I came from a place 5-10 times worse. So with a kid pulling out a gun, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Put that away. That's normal, you know. Richmond, you wouldn't even see the gun coming out. It would just be like, bullets,
Right.
you know. So yeah, it all depends on where you're from and how you adapt to things. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, bro. You can leave the hood and get shot in a nice neighborhood or run over, by some crazy neighbor, man. But yeah, I mean, I was harassed by a cop before he was a cop. The guy's about to kill me before, and then 6 months later, he's a cop. I'm like, oh, great, that's a good experience for me,
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I can imagine that would be kind of like, oh, so you're a cop now.
Yeah.
You want something? This is something funny. One guy that used to hang with us on the block in my neighborhood where I was from, he was a white, Caucasian person, but he used to dress gangster and everything. So we had some good times together. It ended up he became a police officer, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he became a police officer. And I didn't see him, but my friend that I just talked to recently, seen him years later, and he was a police officer. I'm like, wow, what a trip.
Hey, what's the difference of that and all these pastors like myself being criminals, and now we're men of the cloth, it's
yeah. God will use you, man. Like, God uses me, and I know that, and I like it, man. I love it. Let's put it that way. How I am now, and like there's this man that I know that a church I go to, he's 75 years old. He's been through the same stuff that I've been through, even worse. Let's put it, prison, all that other stuff. But you know what? Now he serves God. He does prison ministries. He does all this stuff for the seniors and everything. And he's 75 years old and he's still doing it hard. Yeah. He's a blessing, man. And some people think that when you give yourself to God that you're weak. And I used to think that way. I used to think, man, they're weak or this. No, but no, you're actually stronger, man. Because it's not easy to be a Christian, and that's a fact. Because the enemy comes at you, he attacks you, but God gives you the strength not to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, Pastor Tony, Jojo was wondering, what area are you out of in
Northwest Phoenix, called Arrowhead. Big Arrowhead.
Nice. Arrowhead. My pastor was from Arrowhead.
Really?
Oh, Boulder?
No. Boulder's about that's Colorado, I think, isn't it?
No, not Boulder. What am I talking about?
That's right, American.
Okay, so it's in Phoenix. It's Northwest Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. He was from Arizona, yeah.
I just wanted to touch on Casa. Man, the Christian life is supposed to be a death sentence. You're supposed to die to yourself. The believing part is the easiest part because God opens your eyes like, yeah, I believe in Jesus. Like Jesus, like, okay, mira mijo, here's your cross. Now go ahead, and everyone's gonna hate you, and you have to deny yourself. But there's a better place waiting for you. You do everything unto me down here, and I'll hook you up there. And that's the deal. So I'm like, all right. So yeah, man. Fighting against what feels good, what I mean? That's the battle, right? Like, man, we all want to kill ourselves quickly with pleasure, what I mean? But man, it's like there's something about living for something greater than ourselves down here. So that's why I'm always happy to get invited to the channels. If I can encourage anyone, let you guys know that you guys ain't alone. That following the Lord is worth it. That it's difficult to deny yourself. But you do it every day. You wake up every day and you deny yourself. You pick up your cross, and the Lord has great reward and treasures for you. He blesses you. He takes care of your people. He opens up doors and closes doors, but he's faithful, man. So I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, Tony. I'll tell you one thing though. I was baptized in 2007. So ever since then, I've been serving the Lord, and I raised my girls in the church, right? Did all that, and they're adults now, and yeah, they have their thing. They don't go to church, but they know the Lord. They know that they have, you know, that they have the relationship with Him and stuff. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, get easy because you go through those trials when
Mhm.
you first, serve God, and it doesn't take overnight. I'm
Mhm.
just saying that now. It for me, I live and I know what is right and what's wrong. I know
Yeah.
not to do this and not to do that. I know the result of that and not to do that. So
Yeah.
between, like, with me and my husband, we just live, and we live for the Lord, and we do everything right so that we can get those blessings. And I
Mhm.
never say luck. I when people say, "Oh, I'm so lucky," I go, "Nah, man, you're blessed."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What
God's watching over
that
you.
word? I hate that word.
You're
Mhm.
Yeah.
taking refuge under His wings. That's what
Yeah,
I do.
it's not in my
Yep.
vocabulary, and
That's right.
Yeah.
you
Good. That's
know,
good.
Right. Holy Spirit makes it easy.
You,
Yeah.
you, hey Tony, you feel a lot, Pastor. You feel a lot better, don't you, in life? I mean, it's hard
Oh yeah,
sometimes,
man.
but you feel you seem like a real high spirited person, which is good, man. Real.
Yeah, 1996 and 19 years old in the state prison here in Arizona, man. I cried out to the Lord, man. He spoke to me, man, and he saved my mom. So the Lord is good, man. He give us everything we need. But
Mhm.
yeah,
then it's like, okay, now it's time to take the the diapers off and put some big boy pants on and start, and then he's so faithful to let you fall on your face, man, and pick you back up. You cry to him, and he's such a good father. And then we try to mimic that with our own kids. We're trying to break cycles of molestation, family molestations, addiction,
Mhm.
multiple marriages, prison sentences. It's like that starts right here, man. You know what I mean? My mom got a little on a late train, man, but I have to start with myself, and I gotta
Mhm.
recognize, okay, God saved me. Now I gotta
Mhm.
pray and ask the Lord to break these cycles, man. So my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids don't have to go to prison
right.
necessarily to
Ah,
to know him, or have to be hurt like that. They can be healthy, you know what I mean, and not have to like struggle with lust in the heart and the mind, or overeating, or they can have some self-discipline young, but from the heart. Grandma slapped us around, took her nails in her arms to show us how it's done. You know what I mean? But I don't want to have to do that. I want them to, like, from their heart, know why it's good to work hard.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like that.
If you fall back on His word, you're good. Like, that's what
Yeah.
it's for. That's what His word's for. And
Mhm.
I may not look like a holy roller, but I'm telling you,
Yeah, you do.
I have the Lord in my home. He's in my
Yeah.
home. He's in my girls, and
Well,
my husband. That's all I really need. Like, I have family that are Christians and stuff.
Pastor Denise is like this. I'm a holy roller.
Yeah. I hope
you know
I
what?
hope we
I
don't look
feel,
like holy rollers.
I mean,
um,
I don't worry. It's like like, okay, when something happens, of course you like, oh my God, like, oh my God, what are you gonna, but that's the panicking, that's the flesh, like, trying to
mhm.
take over, and then you stop and you're like, okay, Lord, you got this. Like, I'm not even worried about it. Like,
Mhm.
I give it to you right now, in the name of
Yeah.
Jesus. Like, right now, I give it to you. Like, I'm not even gonna worry about that.
Right.
You
Amen.
know,
Right. You know
and
what I noticed too? It's like, to piggyback off of what you're kind of saying, Denise. Like, I noticed, like, when I'm drawing closer to the Lord, right, and I'm starting to feel more comfortable. Like, okay, I'm being faithful about reading my Word every morning. Like, I noticed I was starting to get a little things thrown at me, like get attacked,
oh
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And at first, I started to feel a little discouraged, but then I was like, no, 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 because if the enemy's trying to make me stumble, it's because I'm about to get a breakthrough.
yeah, you're
So I just pushed harder.
about to get a
That
blessing.
hey, that you're
And
absolutely right, Jen.
we miss those blessings when we act certain type
Yeah.
of way.
He'll put things. The enemy will put things in your mind to make you contemplate and think like what's happening, or stuff like that. And you know what? You're better than that, and you're bigger than that. When you're grounded in God, He said, you're going to be stronger. And you will come out victorious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when I used to be like that, every time I got in the book before,
Mhm.
I'd read the book, and then all these trials would happen, and I put the book aside, no more. So
Right.
then God throws the rope down again, and and I get in the book again, and then a trial big time. I says, "Shh," I'll put it away. But now, like I said, I tied the knot at the end of the rope now, so I don't fall off no more. So I'm dangling like this. So,
Right. Indica,
you know,
the flesh is strong. Just responding to this comment,
yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
strong, but I would say like don't allow that to make you flee from still reading God's word and
once we learn all those things, I honestly believe that it will extend our life like the Bible says. Because like the church I go to, you have centurions in there, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And they believe in God. Their mind, you can see just the peace within them. They're laughing. They greet you. We greet each other, and all that is good for your soul. You know what I mean? Because all that bad stuff is like all the bad talk or this and that. It's not really that good for your soul, man. It's not, and I don't have to prove myself to anybody, and say like I'm a bad dude. I don't have to do that. Before, when I lived for the devil, and then I used to do that, but now I don't have to do that. If somebody doesn't like me because I love God, I'll pray for them. That's it. Because I am who I am, and I want to extend my life because I did so much damage to my life. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I have, sisters in Christ, like, and even Jen, like we pray together, man. She encourages me and I encourage her. Like,
that's good. You should.
Don't let that. Don't let that get to you. God's right there with you, and it's just the devil poking at you, and
yeah,
that's all it is.
It's good to have that. Like a few comments back, someone said, "Yeah, this like fellowship is so important to have." Like,
it definitely is. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah,
church now here, man. We have a church.
I know. I know.
Our Life Phoenix is.
Jojo, I have a question for you. Let's see, Tony. Do you know Buzz or Roger from Rescued Not Arrested?
Yeah, I don't.
No.
Yeah. Rescued Not Arrested. Okay, that's the channel. I don't. Not yet. I hope to.
Yeah.
One of these days, get on there. I think I want to talk to that guy Tony, the current prisoners. He invited me to go hang out with him on the channel. That's encouraging. I'm nervous, man, about that. I know you, Jen, Denise, but I don't. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. I want to hear the story about my prison experience. But everything you guys are saying is 100%, man. It's been 27 years for me since I became a Christian. Jesus opened my eyes, and one thing I know for sure is He's the faithful one in the equation. And you guys are so right. Let's redeem the time that we have. Let's use what we have here on earth, man. Let's not get caught up in so much of the world's problems, man. But try to love people that are in our proximity. That's what the Bible says about loving your neighbor. He doesn't necessarily mean like the person that lives directly next door to you. It's anyone that you could touch, that you tattoo or speak to in your neighborhood. Anyone close enough to you, that's your neighbor. So it could be the person sitting next to you at the restaurant, or at the grocery store. It's anyone near you. To love them, be nice to them. Be patient with them, smile when they're taking forever in the checkout line.
You never know if we. Pastor Tony, you never know if we may need that person. You know what I mean? Like, we could have a disaster and you're at the market and you just cussed out that girl in back of you, or the guy in back of you, and you got to stay with them. That's just my thought is like, man, you got to love that person, because if you get stuck with them in a tragedy or whatever,
right?
Even if your house, like your neighbor, you got to love your neighbor. You got to talk to them. Like,
yeah, it's hard, right?
Stuck with them one day. Maybe you're gonna have to share food or give them water or something,
Right.
What the biggest test is when I wave at my neighbors driving by and then I wave back.
I know.
What do I do with those feelings?
You know what's a trip? I'm gonna tell you this real quick. So I had a neighbor. He was all like tweaked out, and he would yell at us and tell us dirty things and just be like a jerk. And I'm like, dude, like, he just moved in with his old tia. His auntie was old, and he just happened to come live with her and changed the whole, like, it was the whole feeling of, man, I can't stand that dude. Like,
Yeah.
it took me a while, you know, and I was like, this guy, man. And I told him one day, you know what, Chris, I'm gonna pray for you, man. He goes, oh, is there really a God? And I said, yep, and I'm gonna pray for you, man.
Right.
I don't have to
Boom.
talk to him or nothing. But I'm gonna pray for. You know what ended up happening? He died in that house. He OD'd in the house and passed away.
Wow.
And I was like, man, what a trip. His auntie's still alive. She's like 103.
Oh,
But yeah, he passed away. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Check this story out,
I don't want
Tony.
to remove him like that, but
Yeah, that's you never know.
Check this out, Pastor. One day I got injured and I couldn't walk, and I was just like barely moving, scooting, and where I lived at, I wanted to get out. So it took me a while to get to the front gate, right? And this guy that I knew, literally, I knew him. But at this time, he didn't know me. The enemy was within him, right? And because I knew him, his mom. And so he was coming down the street and talking a lot of crap. I'm going to kill these Mexicans and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to beat them and this and that, right? And so I was standing at the gate, right? And he was a big dude. So he goes, I'm going to kill these Mexicans and this and that. So I said, hey, like this, because I know him. Hey, peace, man, you know. And he comes walking up to me and looking at me, ready to do me up. And I said, man, he's going to mess me up because I can't even swing or anything right now, you know. I looked at him straight in the eyes. And I said, hey, God bless you. Wow. And he goes, okay. And he turned around and walked away. And he still didn't recognize who I was.
Yeah.
You know, but he was about to do some people some damage. And he was a big dude, man. But I just looked at him, and God took me through that, because I said, hey, God bless you. Because I know, in fact, he could have beat the you know what out of me, because I wasn't in a position to even fight, to be truthful to you. But he was determined to beat up somebody that day. But I just looked him straight in the eye, didn't show that fear. I just said, hey, God bless you, brother. And he just turned around kind of like, okay.
You didn't know what to do with that, yeah.
You know?
I gave a guy a candy bar once. He said he wanted to kill me when I was in the joint, and the whole relationship changed. And that was like my best friend after that. But anyway, hey, man, how about not killing me? Here's a candy bar.
That's right.
Like, change his mind.
That's right. Hey, I wanted to read this comment back here, because this was so cool to learn. Where we go? 1 second.
Hey, Tony, my name is House of Tattoos. I don't know if you know me, aka Tattoo Rabbit.
All over the place, House. You're all over the place, man. I was like,
nice to meet. I think this is the first time I met you.
Right. So,
all right,
Jojo,
nice to meet you, man.
You too, brother.
Jojo AD says, I crack a lot of jokes, but honestly, I studied religion for about 15 years. Went to school for discipleship and evangelism for 2 years. I believe in God, my creator, and his son who died to set an example.
Yeah.
That's really cool to learn, Jojo. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, that's cool to know.
He's a Phoenician. I don't know where he's from. I know Arizona is a pretty big state.
Yeah, he's in Arizona.
What's the weather over there right now, Tony?
185, 186.
No.
Right now, we're waiting for some pie to finish outside, man. It's almost done, man. Hey, it's in the low hundreds. It's in the low hundreds.
Man, right now we're having some beautiful weather over here in Cali right now, man. I'm loving it, man. Even in Riverside, you could probably still put a coat on right now.
Yeah.
Wow,
Phoenix, awesome, Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix.
I see that. We put all of our coats in a big tote, like in February.
Yeah.
All right.
We won't need that anymore, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pastor Tony, what kind of pie are you guys making?
Oh no! If it would be a pie, it'd be a cheesecake, or I don't know if that's a pie or an apple pie.
Apple pie, okay.
Yeah, apple pie, man.
Denise, if you had to choose like a pie or a cake, what would you be down to have for dessert?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I like pie.
Like pie? Any certain?
Cheesecake. Well, cheesecake's a pie, right?
Pie or
strawberry pie is good too. Strawberry pie.
You know, I like banberry pie. Have you ever tried banberry?
Banberry?
Yeah, it's from what's that one place?
Damn mouse.
They bake pies. They make pies and everything. But it's strawberry and banana pie. Oh my God, it's bomb.
Strawberry and banana?
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Banberry. I think Polly Pies. That's what it is. Polly Pies makes them. I don't know if you guys have one over there, Jen.
Never heard of it. No.
Yeah, Polly Pies.
I think they took our Polly Pies. Wait, I know where there's the Polly Pies.
Yeah, their Banberry, man, is bomb, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Banana and strawberry.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah, you got to taste it, man, and I know you love it, man. It's dope. It tastes real good.
Yeah,
so it's a cold pie, like chilled.
Yeah, it's very rich too. It's very rich. So if you're diabetic, you don't want to eat that. You know what I'm saying?
That's me.
You know?
So House gave this guy a pie, and he never came out of his house. Kind of like Denise's story.
Right. So what do you have coming up this next week, Pastor Tony? What's going on with you and your family?
Well, my wife is working her PhD. She's trying to be a Hebrew scholar. So she's doing that at a school that's based in California, Ontario, to be specific. It's in Ontario. We go out there like every month. We used to. So we're out there in Ontario every month. I didn't know Rancho Cucamonga was the real name for Ontario.
Rancho Cucamonga.
I'm in Ontario. I'm making a left, and I'm in Rancho Cucamonga with a bunch of mega flags all around me. Like, oh, Ontario is Cucamonga. I didn't know that. I gotta talk to Joe Trucker about that. I didn't know that. But anyway, so and then church, I do a prison ministry called Alongside Ministries here in Arizona. It's kind of like a prison fellowship, but they go in the joint and they find that they disciple them and then house them out here and hook them up with jobs or whatever, and then kind of like set them on. So I volunteer for that, and just the Sunday service, Heart Life Church Phoenix, Sister Mary Brown. She's part of right here. She's part of my wife's little small group for women that she does. That she's gonna pick up here pretty soon. So yeah, man, basically 3 little daughters, trying to homeschool them. We got water park passes, so we go to the water park. You know, nice. I mean, it's a Hurricane Harbor out in Phoenix, right in our backyard.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So we do that. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a lot of skin. I ain't gonna lie to you. If a Christian man say you don't have a problem with a lot of skin, he's lying, and he needs to really search his heart. Anyway, so that's all I gotta say about that.
Well, that sounds like a lot. You got a lot going on. That's good.
Yes.
Nice. And people can watch.
Hello, Dee.
Your services, right?
Heart Life Phoenix is our YouTube channel. Every week we have a live. We do 15, 30-second clips of our Chihuahua in action. But for the most part, Sundays. Yeah. Every Sunday at 11 o'clock we go live. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
If I don't catch it live, I always watch the playback. So you guys should check it out for sure.
Thanks, Jen. That's really cool.
Blesses my heart. So definitely. And Denise, what do you have coming up this week, my beautiful sister?
My little nephew is graduating 6th grade. So we're doing that on Friday.
All right.
And it went by so quick. I remember in kindergarten when he graduated. Yeah. But he's graduating out of 6th grade and out of 6th grade. And so just doing that. And the weekend we haven't had nothing planned because of my leg, but I'm better. I'm like, I'm showing my husband that I could walk now.
Now you could be running and doing something, huh? Going places.
Now I want to do everything.
Yeah, you like running, you like going, huh? You like going places.
Yeah, I'm always going. Even if I'm not, man, that killed me sitting there for a couple of days with my leg.
Yeah, I can tell you were hating it. You wanted to get up and go.
Can't stand it.
Yeah, nobody likes to be not mobilized. You want to be able to move around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to be catered. My daughter came, massaged my leg, and then the other one made food.
You're spoiled, Denise. You're spoiled.
It was nice.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better too.
Yeah.
Yes.
House, what about you? What's going on this week?
I started my channel. I was playing a little music on my channel, went live, and I figured it out and everything until the YouTube police stopped me. But I'm talking to some people and stuff like that would come in here, and participate in the little things that I'm going to do. It's just only going to bring love, spread the love. You know what I'm saying? And just all good, positive stuff, and that's it, plant a seed here and there, you know. Yeah,
I love
but
your setup. You got your setup right there going now.
yeah, and I finally got it done and stuff like that. And I'm learning. Like, remember, I was telling you, I'm learning the theory of music, and so I'm kind of like educating myself also and taking time to do that and stuff because now I'm understanding it more, you know. Which I started playing around with the keyboard and with the virtual instruments that I got too, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of neat. I'm not a musician, or I'm not great, but just to hit those chords and set up those things, it was pretty good. It was pretty cool.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
What about you, Jen?
I have a lot going on, but not all good things, nothing bad. So we had my daughter's practice graduation stuff this last week or two ago, but her actual graduation is this Friday. So I will take her, and Friday will be my baby's last day of high school.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
6:00 in the evening, and it'll be an emotional one, you know.
Oh yeah.
You guys know my girls lost their dad a couple of years ago, so
Yeah.
it will be a moment that
Yeah.
it'll be nice to, you know, her Nana and Tata will be there. We have family coming from Arizona, from Carson, so we're gonna have a party for her the next day, the following day at her Nana.
All right.
So it will be a blessing, and just to see my baby do the thing, you know, makes me proud.
Yeah. It's such
All right, Jojo.
it's such an accomplishment, you know. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
And then after, it's good to see how they live their lives and how they enjoy, you know, my girls enjoy their jobs. Like I tell you guys, they love their jobs, and that's just something that we got blessed with, because I didn't want them, you know, I always prayed for them. I always said, Lord, you know, bless them with something good and a good job that they would be happy to go to, and not be all, you know, discouraged and upset coming home, this and that. No, they love their jobs, you guys, and that's
good. That's good.
trip. It's a real trip to see that, you know. So yeah, man.
It's a blessing, yeah, for sure. And I do have, you know, I think I had mentioned last week, I had an interview set up with a female content creator. So that did take place. Thank God it happened. I just have to edit that, and I will most likely be putting that out a week from today. So the next Tuesday, I'll put it out in the early daytime, afternoon time, and then we'll do our thing here in the evening. But I just want to thank you guys for being here. You know,
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, Jen.
Little, you know, little encouraging roundtable, and I appreciate you guys on the panel.
God's good, man. God is good, man.
I appreciate everyone in the chat.
Blessings, yes. Thank you, guys. Jojo, everybody. Vanessa, Amiga.
Too, yeah. Sister Mary, Indica, we love you, brother. American Top Gunner, always appreciate you and your encouraging words. Timo, let's see, a couple more. Brenda Love, always so glad you're feeling better, Brenda. I didn't know you were not feeling well. Prayers, Will, that's right.
Big D.
Yes, Big D.
Right,
the Gilu Show, thank you also for the super chat, and Brenda as well.
I was chopping it up with Timo, you know, in the IG, and we were talking about the past and how we grew up with bikes and certain things, but we used to make our ramps and stuff. It's not like that no more, man. How we could stay out late, you know. Things have changed completely, man. You know.
Hey, has anyone seen the George Foreman movie? Just real quick, anyone seen that George Foreman movie yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, I gotta get on it. Yeah, making those ramps is almost like kids are embarrassed to be caught out there trying to make something themselves, right? There's too much pride. 9-year-old kid got too much pride to build one.
I gotta check that out. So that's a new one?
George Foreman, yeah.
Okay.
Big George Foreman. I saw the preview. It was like a 2-minute preview. It looked good, man. I gotta check that out, but I'm waiting for my Amazon dollars to raise up.
Yeah.
It's like
so it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Like $20 or something, right? I know when it first
came really? Out.
Yes.
So I gotta start buying more stuff on the internet.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna check it out when I can too. But with all that said, guys, next Tuesday, and Pastor Tony, we hope to have you on many more times to come. It's a blessing to have you
Same
in
time,
our
same place.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Tony.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Tony.
Jen, God bless you guys.
God bless
God
you
bless
too.
you. You guys have a good night. Buenas noches.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night.